Line podcast, where we are helping to prepare you for whatever is next in line. As always, I am your host, Chance Pitts, and I'd like to thank you for tuning into this episode. Guys and gals, welcome into another Thoughtful Thursday here on Next in Line. Guys, as y'all listen to this, I would be coming back from Utah, from Zion, a little vacation getaway with my wife, doing a little bit of pre-recording right now, but didn't want to miss any opportunities to share some knowledge with y'all in the form of this Thoughtful Thursday. And along with that, guys, let's go ahead and knock out the housekeeping. If you receive value from this episode or any other episode of the Next in Line podcast, I would ask that you share the show with like-minded individuals who might receive the same kind of value. That's the number one way for us to grow and move in a positive direction with this movement. As we reach more people, we're able to help more people, guys, and that is the overall goal. Now, with that, another way you can help us grow is to leave us a rating or review on whatever platform you find yourself listening on, but also go ahead and click that subscribe button. Make sure you're getting the notifications on when we drop these episodes. Now, guys, as I sit down to think about what I'm going to talk about on this Thoughtful Thursday podcast, I just really started hammering away in my mind on the different things, running through the list of all the crazy stuff that I have going on in my life and my wife has going on in hers, and just some of the experiences we're dealing with personally as well, some of the situations. Getting ready to make some really big financial investments, getting really ready to dive into some different aspects of our life that we haven't dove into before. And it's some really exciting times, but at the same time, we find ourselves in a situation where it can be really overwhelming. And I think that's something that happens for a lot of people. You see something come in front of you, an opportunity or a problem, and we immediately start to get overwhelmed. We start to look at all the different factors that are involved with the process of whatever it is we find ourselves being engaged with. And we really take it to a negative place right off the bat. We dive into that feeling of overwhelmedness, and we put ourselves in a situation of honestly looking at it as a little bit negative. And one thing we do immediately whenever we look at a situation like that is we fail to see the opportunity. And guys, with the changes going on in my life and some of the different situations I've found myself in here lately, I know for a fact that I've been this kind of person. I've been failing to see some of the opportunity that's come my way. I've been getting frustrated about little things here and there popping up and seeming to disturb my day in some way or another. But guys, I think that there's something we really have to remember. We have to remember that we have to engage in the positive mindset, and we have to view these problems and these different things in our lives as exactly what they are. And what they are, guys, is opportunity. Now, you might have a totally different circumstance than anyone else in the world. You might have every single reason in the world to fail or have an excuse to walk away and not to try something that would seem hard, to change your financial standing, to improve your career, to, I don't know, go buy your first house, to go buy your first car, whatever it is that you find yourself dealing with. There's probably 1,000,001 reasons that you could opt out or make an acceptable excuse, I could quote unquote acceptable excuse, and society would accept that excuse. The people around you would accept that excuse. They would even encourage you to make a decision that might not be the best for you in the name of mental health. So what I want to do today is I want to illustrate a couple situations where understanding the different mindset and the difference in perspective that you can approach situations with in order to have a more positive outcome come as a result of that situation. Now, I do want to put a quote out there for you for us to work from on this specific topic. Now, there's a guy, a Marine that served back in the day, Chesty Puller, and he's got a great quote out there, guys. It's, "We're surrounded. That simplifies the problem. They are in front of us, behind us, and we are flanked on both sides by an enemy that outnumbers us 29-1. They can't get away now." Guys, what happens in this situation? That he is totally surrounded, him and his army. They are just outflanked, outgunned, outnumbered in every way possible. But instead of seeing that right there as a huge disadvantage that every single one of us would probably look at in a negative light, we would see, holy crap, we have the odds stacked against us. We might as well throw in the towel now. There's a million reasons why we can't succeed. Everyone around us, everyone above us commanding us, everyone in the world, whenever they hear the news article come out about this battle, they would 100% understand if we laid down our arms and walked away, or if we just let ourselves get captured. Everybody would understand the viable excuses there, right? There's a path to having a way out of doing less than we are capable of. But instead, that last line resonates with me. They can't get away now. The odds are flipped. The mentality's switched. The perspective takes a new point of view, guys. We start to see this thing as an opportunity, because guess what, guys? Every direction you point, you got a target. Every single time you look one direction, you don't have to look very far to find out exactly where you should be pointing the end of that barrel, guys. And that's how we need to look at some of these situations we find ourselves in. I know for me, in fact, in these situations, I am feeling very overwhelmed with my ultra running schedule, and I feel like I am behind in my training for the Habanero 100. However, some of the issues within me being behind that have caused me to get behind are learnable moments that I can start to apply to my schedule in order to make myself more capable as a runner as I get ready for the Habanero 100. One thing that has been holding me back has been a upper calf and knee injury on my right hand side. And now this is something that has been reoccurring with me for a while. So what did I do this time? Instead of getting frustrated and just being upset that I couldn't go out and run and reach my full potential in my training schedule every single day, I flipped the script, guys. I stopped looking at it in that negative light and that direction that didn't serve me in a positive manner at all. And I decided to show myself what I can do whenever I actually take the time to let it heal, and I do active recovery and some different exercises and techniques for strengthening and repairing that issue that I have on my right leg. So I decided to take this as a time to learn so I can alleviate this pain for a long-term type situation, rather than just trying to get through it this one time so I can push through this one race and then have it blow back out on me on the 100 miler and then be battling it all over again. No, guys, I have bigger aspirations than that, and if I'm going to reach those aspirations and reach my goals, I'm going to have to learn how to overcome that issue and that injury. So, guys, it's an opportunity for me to learn and to get better. Another quote that I will throw out there, if anyone has seen the video floating around from Jocko Willink, I would highly encourage you, if you haven't seen it, to go look it up. But that video is called Good, just simply Good, on YouTube. And what he describes is whenever he was a leader in the SEALs, guys, he would have one of his lower enlisted guys that he was in command over come to him, and he would always bring a problem to him. He would always bring some kind of issue that was actually an issue. Absolutely, yes. But the bigger thing around it was an opportunity, if you will, guys. And what I mean by that was this guy would come to Jocko and say, man, we didn't get the new gear that we ordered. And Jocko would just simply say, good. That guy would come up and say, hey, we didn't get picked for this mission. And Jocko would simply say, good. And it got to the point to where Jocko finally stopped getting asked by the guy. The guy came up to him one time and he said, I was going to come tell you about a problem, but I'm not going to tell you anymore because I know what you're going to say. And Jocko said, what am I going to say? And he says, you're just going to say good. And Jocko said, do you know why I say good? And that's where he explained this great change of perspective and this mindset that I think can serve each and every one of us for a very long time. He said, didn't get the new gear that we wanted? Good. We can train and we can get better with the old gear that we have. We didn't get selected for that mission? Good. We can start planning and prepping and making sure that we're ready to go for the next one. There were so many different opportunities that he could have just gotten upset or annoyed, or honestly got his team in a very bad mindset, tore up the culture just a little bit with the negativity. But he chose not to. He chose to grab a different perspective and approach it with a whole entire new outlook. And guys, that's something we have to be able to apply every single day in our lives. We talk about mentality, we talk about outlook, we talk about the general perception of our situation. And I've said it before, guys, but I'll say it again. Your situation is not always your fault. It's not always a result of the decisions that you made. You could have been born into poverty. You could have been born into a bad situation with abusive parents. You could have been born into a group of people or a family that surround you that have terrible habits in health, fitness, finance, whatever it is, and it could have created a genuine bad circumstance that you had absolutely no control over. But there is a caveat to that entire thing. Even though you have every reason to blame someone else or some other situation for your problems, you have to take control and you have to be the one that takes responsibility for repairing them, because no one else will. Guys, society today is so weak-minded and so easily deterred from trying to achieve hard things that everyone will give you an out. Everyone will tell you that it's okay to not reach your full potential, and they will tell you it's okay to be less than you have the potential to be in life. And that, guys, that's honestly along my personal development journey, that realization right there has made all the difference in the world for me. The reason I started ultra running is not because I want to go be some kind of crazy competitive ultra runner. That'd be fantastic. It'd be an awesome opportunity. Maybe pick up a sponsor or something. That'd be really, really cool. But when it comes down to it, guys, I realize that I am capable of more than I've ever let myself try to do. So I want to find my breaking point. I want to get out there and I want to see what it takes to truly break me down. I want to reach my full capacity mentally and physically. And I found that running is something that can challenge me in that sense. And then I take that same mindset, those cookies out of that cookie jar of achievement in my ultra running, being able to go out and force myself to do things that are really hard. I take those things that I can build a foundation with in other areas of my life, and I apply them. Guys, if I can go out and I can run 60 miles and force myself to do that, or if I can go out and force myself to do this habanero 100, think about all the other things I can do in my life. What else is possible? Or, guys, rephrase that question. At that point, what's impossible? Guys, there's very, very little in this life that we cannot achieve if we actively pursue it with 100% of our investment. And that's something I wanted to share with y'all today. That's been on my mind really heavy, and it's really been something that's been weighing me down, and I had to take a step back and realize what was going on and why my mindset has been so messed up. But guys, I haven't been letting myself see the full potential behind everything. And if this is something that applies to you as well, I hope this is something that can help you move in the right direction. I encourage you to evaluate those situations in your life where you feel powerless or you feel like you don't have control over, and figure out the different things that you can control in that situation so you can start trying to move yourself forward. Guys, you are capable of so much more than you think you are capable of. You can move yourself in whatever direction you want to go. The world is a tangible object that you can move and you can manipulate to get the results that you want. You've just got to develop the right mindset to attack it and then have the courage to do so. Guys, thanks for tuning into this episode of the Next in Line podcast on this Thoughtful Thursday. If you receive value from the show, please make sure you're sharing it with like-minded people. Also, check us out on social media. That's at Next in Line Development on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And guys, always be prepared for whatever is next in line.